Hello there, my darlings. Welcome. Today is Sunday, October the 12th, 2025, and I want to talk to you today about a little something I do not believe that anyone else is sharing with you. Let's get into it. Hello, everyone. I'm Lady Zelda Kelly with True Oracle, and I'm here today to show you a little bit of something, and I have my own numerology type, a method, I'm going to call it that, of the Zeldan. I call it a Zeldan Codex. And it's all about reduction of numbers. It's all about working with numbers. Numbers are our life. That's it. We are in numbers. I've got it here. I've got a little piece of paper here that I do a little demonstration on, and this has to be with Donald Trump. Now, first of all, we're not going to get political. We're not going to do it. And if you want to get political, don't comment because they're not going to come through, okay? Because I want to be respectful. But this is about events. It has nothing to do with the political side of things. The event that happened to Donald Trump, where there was an attempted taking out, unaliving, that happened on 7/13/2024. So if we add all these up, okay, we get to the number 10, and it reduces to a number 1. That is for Donald J. Trump. Now, for Charlie Kirk, that happened September the 10th of 2025. We add all of these up, and it reduces to what? A number 10, and what? A number 1. And that is for Charlie Kirk. Now, I want to also show you this, especially for Charlie Kirk. We are in the number 9 year. So what you do is you add all of those together, and it comes up to a number 9. Next year is a number 10. What happens in a number 10, you reduce it and it comes back to 1. We are preparing for a brand new phase over the next 10 years. It's amazing that this has happened. So what is all this? What does all this mean? They both reduce to the primordial 1. That is the pulse of creation, the spark that starts every sequence. So in my codex terms, a 1 equals fire. Fire is the act of will, the word made manifest. To have it repeat in consecutive years is very rare. That's what I'm talking about here. That's what I want to tell you about. So what does this suggest? It is not a coincidence. It is an echo. Fire tried to deliver a message once, and it was unheard. It was not delivered. There was not an outcome. They're both unfortunate. But then it returned again through air. So I want to talk to you now about something else. Because across the maps, we have the United States here. Yeah, no artist here, okay? So we're not going to... There's Texas. Hello. We get it, right? There is a line that goes straight across the United States. It is the 40th parallel line. Butler, Pennsylvania, Butler, Pennsylvania, I'm going to say right around in here, and Orem, Utah, right around in here, give or take now, I'm no artist, is on the 40th ley line. It's the latitude that arcs from the Atlantic to the Rockies, and it touches New York, Boulder, Colorado, Salt Lake City. It is a belt of thresholds where invention, population, and confrontation meet. So, in Codex numerology, my own, 40 is not a number of doom, but of a passage. It marks a span required for transformation, 40 units of trial before a renewal. The earth herself keeps this measure. Cities on the 40th ley line here often host moments that redefine how nations see themselves. But it gathers people, power, possibility in one narrow band. The ancients may have called it a testing corridor. The modern mind calls it a coincidence of geography. And you know what? I think the truth lies somewhere in between. And the first event was fire. It's the ignition. The second event, so this is the fire, the second event is air. It's the broadcast. The same root number, 1, appears twice, but its element shifts from the visible to the unseen, because we can see fire, obviously, but we can't see air. We can feel it. We know the effects of it. Fire burns. Air carries smoke, sound, and word. Together, they both form a bridge of revelation. And it's a message leaving one era and entering into another. Let's talk a minute about the number 40. 40 is significant since the days of creation. There was 40 days in the wilderness. It was a testing and purification of Jesus. Fasting, being in the desert. It mirrors Moses' 40 days on Sinai and Elijah's 40 days journey into Oreb. Each story marks spiritual trial and a season between the old self and the empowered one who returns. There are 40 days and nights of rain, which is cleansing and renewal. 40 years in the wilderness, obviously, but that is transformation and formation. 40 weeks of gestation. That is, 40 weeks is usually the time before birth, approximately. It's the physical mirrors of the spiritual, and the revelation takes 40 units of time to ripen. Other 40s that echo in line with this cycle: 40 days between resurrection and ascension, alchemy's 40 stages, the long purification of matter into gold or spirit into light. So across traditions of the number 40, it means threshold incubation, probation, and a precise span needed for transformation to be complete. Now, I know you're saying, but Zelda, what the heck does this matter? It does. It does. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. So stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to tell you this. The 40 is a measure of gestation. It's a time that it takes for an idea to become form. It's a testing phase before renewal. It reminds us that upheaval, however upsetting and violent, often can precede a collective rebirth of awareness. And I believe that has happened with Charlie. Definitely. The 40th parallel then is not such a cursed line. It's a planet's incubator of realization. So wherever events coverage along it, something as humanity is being forced to mature. Was this Charlie Kirk's destiny? As violent, as horrific, as awful as it is, I think Charlie would look at this as almost being a promotion. However, he surmised something. He knew something was going on. He knew something was up. Perhaps the 40th parallel isn't a mark on a map at all, but a mirror held across the continent, showing all of this coming together. 2 sparks, 1 line. Not politics, not prophecy, a pattern of fire becoming a breath, the breath of air, and it becomes the next question. It's quite amazing, quite amazing. So we're going to get into the cards because I have some questions about this. Because I believe, and thank you very much for indulging me and my lack of artistic value here. But I've been meditating and thinking about this for quite a few days. And I'm going to tell you there's too many similarities between those 2 events. Rooftop, open air, giving us a narrative before we actually know the truth. I don't think we still know the truth about Butler, Pennsylvania, and I'm not so sure we're going to know the truth about Orem, Utah. And you can see there's a kitty that is meowing because the energy is raising. So now I have some other questions because I believe that with this gestation period being on the 40th parallel, it's going to spawn, it's going to give us birth to a lot of questions. I know you have a lot of questions in your mind, and I do too. So my darlings, here we go. I'm just going to tell you, in my opinion, now, I am not a lawyer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not law enforcement. I am a tarot profiler. I don't conjure, I don't cast, I don't any of those things. I like to read the energies of different people and situations. And I have more questions. The deeper I dig into this, the more questions I have. So in my opinion, and that's really what it is, my darlings, because you know, this is entertainment purposes only, right? And I like to be here entertaining you because I think we are like-minded in this. I don't believe this is such a mystery. I'm also going to tell you, in my opinion, I do not believe that the direction of where this supposed to came from, obviously, we've talked about it, was not from the rooftop. I believe that it was right in front of him. And we're going to get into it, and we're going to see exactly where that came from. Now, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I just want you to know that. I'm going to raise a question, so you can raise the question in your mind. First card out from the House of Zelda is Poetic Justice. I believe that is coming. I believe the more that we talk about this, the more that we raise questions, the more the truth will have to be revealed. And right now, we're just going to ask what truth that we need to know, what information. I have so many questions, but you know, it's very hard to put so many questions into one reading. So this may be a part 1 or a continuing saga. Let's do that. Abandoned. Overlooked evidence. What's on the bottom of the deck? Let's see this. Seek more knowledge. And I believe we need to do that. I think we need to continue to seek because there is a vast area that I don't think that we've even touched on yet. Let me put that over here. Bring these down here. Poetic justice. It's all about timing. And I want you to know this. That's amazing that this came up because do you know there's about a 60-second to a 120-second gap between when this happened to Charlie And then what happened next? There's about a 2-minute gap of not knowing of what is happening. Think about this. It's not clear. For the first 2 minutes after this happened with Charlie, it went into complete chaos. But I'm going to tell you, all of these students had phones. And you're not going to convince me, whomever out there, that someone else doesn't have footage. And maybe they're afraid to come forward. I think I would be, and to a certain, that's very intimidating. The travel that Charlie was making and planning on, he had everything scheduled. But poetic justice is coming. But for whom? I am very concerned, I'm going to say it, for Tyler Robertson. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that Tyler. Let's just say Tyler. My goodness. For Tyler, I'm very concerned because I keep thinking of Lee Harvey Oswald. And I am sorry I'm having difficulty today. Oh my. It's the energy of bringing this to you, and I'm going to slow down a minute and let this happen. I am concerned of the Lee Harvey Oswald situation and Tyler, and you all know what I mean. We're not going to say these words. And it's all about the timing. That is supposed to happen, his timing of another hearing on October 30th. I did say I was going to try to stream it, but I'm not going to be able to because it is in federal court and you can't stream. It's not public. So it's travel. But look at this. Time is needed. Time is needed. We've been kept in the dark. You see this? And as we light the way, more information will come out for us. Abandoned. I feel that a lot of things in July of 2024, when that happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, was abandoned. I believe that there is an abandonment here in this particular situation with Charlie and Orem, Utah. An abandonment of many things, including in Turning Point. I think there's a total upset on the interior side of Turning Point because I believe everybody believes and knows what happened, and nobody really wants to talk about it, including Erica. Overlooked evidence. I'm going to say this. I think that part has been abandoned as well. And I'm also going to say, in my opinion, I believe a lot of this overlooked evidence was on purpose. We've seen things during that whole, and I've watched that video many times, not because I want to see dear Charlie get that happen to him, but I want to see what's going on. Remember, look up. Look up. There are some cards that just fell out. We're going to take them. They fell like this. Yes, I can see that. Another one came out on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Now, what do these mean? This is all about a timing, my darlings. And this is going to be an emotional timing, and it's almost going to be divinely orchestrated. Almost, I think so. There's been a lot of actual good that have come out of this. People finding themselves, realizing that life can be worth living. This is in a very, very emotional time. But look at this. This Queen of Pentacles representing healing in finances. So we know that Charlie was concerned about some donors and losing them. Are they coming back to the table now that Charlie is no longer there? Is the financial situation with Turning Point starting to heal again? Because there were some problems that Charlie found out. And what did he say to some people the day before? He thought someone was going to try to unalive him. They, is what he said. Now, I don't know if you ever noticed this or not, but any time when Charlie would be speaking, he would turn his rings. And that, from what I understand, was a signal that he was very concerned about his safety. And you can see in this video that he was turning his ring. He was concerned. Now, Turning Point is forging head on. Forging away, forging through things, because they feel they're not done yet. They've got something that they want to accomplish financially. This is an air sign too. Amazing. We're talking about fire signs and air signs today. We have a water sign, an earth sign, and now an air sign. We're missing that fire so far. But now look at this. The Six of Pentacles, also an earth, very, very grounding. But look at this. Look at what he's holding. Because see, this is a card about giving. So are the donors back to giving again? And do they feel more balanced that Charlie is gone? Now I have another question, and we're going to be pulling some more cards out here. I have another question, and I think I mentioned it. I do not believe that this happened. I believe that this happened in front of him. And you know what I mean. I'm going to be careful. I believe this happened in front. But there's something else that I keep seeing over and over again. Let's see if it comes up. There is Charlie's concern, but this is not Charlie. See, this is a card of need for caution and actually being cautioned not to overextend or overspend. So does this card talking about this person? Yes, I believe so. A very strong financial backing. This card represents a businessman that is energetic, but needs, I'm going to say maybe sometimes a little prodding. But they need to feel needed in business. That's this person. It's not Charlie. But this card indicates that there is a need for help with money. That's why this card is here. But this card here is a worry financially. There is a worry, a concern. So was this person one person that was dictating financially what was going on? We're going to see, because right here is an education card. It's a card basically of saying, look, if we're not going to do it one way, it's a new idea card. Maybe we can do it another way. We can learn how to keep things away. And I think at some point they were all trying, whoever was involved with this, were all trying to say, look, maybe we can keep this from Charlie this much longer. We don't want to lose our donors. Isn't it amazing that it just doesn't matter that follow the money? This is a card of fall, of autumn. It's a card of almost a reconciliation. A card tells us that It's all about the home and all about coming home and all about finances. And this card comes up a lot in these readings. There is the decision to make. And I'm going to tell you, I think Charlie was making that decision because he was worried about money and he was worried about this one person. I want to find out about this person. Definitely the money man. Definitely the deep pockets. And you know, there's an old saying, he who has the money rules. However, when you take that power from them, that's something they don't like. And they'll come out in different ways. And we've seen what happened to Charlie. I do not believe that it is Tyler, in my opinion, and I believe the narrative that we've been fed has been wrong. But I want to ask about that. This is a card. It's amazing how these cards come out. This is a card of sharing money. This person here is indecisive about sharing money. It's about making investments. And then this, I'm going to tell you, this happened. Maybe if we counted back 40 days from the day that Charlie was unalived, we could probably see a revelation with Charlie into seeing all of this happen in the summer. Because this is a summer timing card, but it's about money. Deciding about how to make money work for you. And then this is a side of isolation. Isolating yourself. And I think Charlie was very concerned about, should he stay to the side? Should he isolate himself? But Charlie stood on his faith and had no fear of this, even though he felt something was going to happen. But my question is, did he share that with Erica? This is a definite card of loss, but it's also a card of the winter. It's a card of endings. It's a card of, again, loss, but now it's a card of legal issues, but it also can mean death. And yes, it is about Charlie. Charlie knew this card right here is a gambling card. It's not casino, it's as in situation. Taking a risk. He knew it was a risk. He knew it was a gamble. But look at what we have again. The Four of Clubs. Being swindled. He knew that somebody was on the take. And this is a card of being in bed again with the devil. And I believe that's what he felt. But I want to know about the shot. This is Erica between two tens. She's being flanked by a change, the change of job, a change of work. And I'm going to say maybe even a change of home, change of lifestyle. And this is a card of putting things in place. It's a new beginning card. It's a new, finding a new pathway. Isn't that amazing? And we have here, because we can correlate this. We didn't talk about this. This is a partnership card coming together. But then we have this ace who's stomping on this card because this card is not flanked by good cards. But we can look above and say, look, this is a new education. It's a new time. But this is an ending of that partnership. And look at the tens, all timing, 30 days. Making sacrifices, interference by a third party. Someone pretending they're something that they're not. Can I say double agent? Can I say someone has a duality here? Two-faced? Can we say that? Of course. There's new paperwork, new telephone calls, new business, but there's a warning that comes with this card. And the warning is to make sure what you read, make sure what you do, because this is going to be a test. And up here, in alignment with this card, is a card of education. So there's definitely a test that's going to be happening for Erica in as the new leader, one of the new leaders of Turning Point. There are a lot of hidden things and regret. And I believe that Erica will be feeling the regret of everything that what has happened. I believe in my heart that Charlie was, I'm trying to find the words. I will in a minute. Interference. There was definitely an interference here because there were so many people, 3 people that were trying to talk him into leaving things status quo, and he refused. He found out big secrets, big lies, and how he was being stolen, how this was being stolen from him, but especially that, look, I'll donate, but I want a control type situation, which he was not going to have. I believe that Charlie was not only manipulated, but I think that he was double-crossed. That's what I'm getting at. You see the two-face, the double-crossed. He wasn't in fear for himself. He was in fear for his children, his family. But he came across these things that were not true. And I believe at the last minute, because Charlie wanted to make that break, there is the 5 of Diamonds. It's a break from that routine of accepting this up here. My. The uncertainty. And look at this. The uncertainty, oh, I'm just seeing something. This is a partner marriage-ship card, and the uncertainty of this and the uncertainty of being double-crossed, two-faced. Oh. And this takes on the persona of perhaps what Erica really was. This takes on the persona of this charming, adorable, obedient wife, the traditional wife, so to speak. However, there wasn't that there. But charming is the word that comes out with this. Having lots of ability, but being strong in as much as not blinking an eye. I think we might have seen that. The 3s, being flanked by the 3s. See, she's being flanked here by 10s. Now she's flanked by 3s. She's wanting the stability of life, being able to go forward. And there is a pregnancy card. Is she expecting? I don't know. Would she announce it? Most likely. Is she waiting for the right time? If she is, she's waiting for the right time. Some emotional stability there, but if it is not a pregnancy, it is all about a brand new beginning. And that's what she's getting. Of lifelong security, and look, there's another gentleman there. Mark my words. She says not, but if she's accepting money and people are telling her what to do, that answer will be, I do. Yes. This is a lump sum of money and knowing what you're worth. But this yes card comes with a card that tells us all about frustration, biting off more that you can chew, difficulty getting point across. She will find out that she is being used as a point person. She will feel the fulfillment in the beginning. However, in my opinion, Erica is being used. And you see, we've got a lot of doubles here. That is confirmation for me in the way that I read, because that will be a success, and maybe that's all she wants. But there is going to be a time when she wants to get away from this, wants to leave this, and she's not going to be able to, because she's going to be tied in the hurt from the past. And this gentleman here, if she takes up with him, her life as she knows it will not be the same. Now, I want to know about that fatal moment coming from the front. Two people sacrificed. Basically saying that they had to wait and see what was going to happen. Let me grab these cards. Well, give me a second, my darlings. I need to grab another deck. Here we are. This is the hidden deck. And if you'd like to learn how to read the hidden deck the way that I read it, there is a downloadable ebook that I've written in the Psychic Shop. And I'll leave a link at the end of this video. I want to know. We want to know. Last words. Okay, my darlings, I'm going to tell you this. There was a person in front that gestured. I'm going to say that I believe, based on what I see here, that it was something. Okay, look at this. I'm going to say there was a trail in the front of where Charlie was. Could this have been from his microphone? Watch the videos. That was my question. And the answer is there were persons in the front that made that happen. And there is the woman that is behind the man on this. Sevens coming out again. Let's see what these sevens are for Erica. We do have 1 7 that is like that, but we have, oops, pardon me, we have a 7. Look, the same sevens, my darlings, coming out. So it's a confirmation of this, and then this is death and loss. Watch the video again. I believe that something detonated. That's my opinion, and I definitely can be wrong. Look into, and I'll admit it if I'm wrong. And there is getting, okay, there was more that Charlie just bit off too much that he could chew. He tried to go within, and he trusted some of these people, and fortunately, or unfortunately rather, he was unable to trust. My darlings, there's going to have to be another part 2 for this one as well. This is getting a little long on the bottom of the deck. It is all about money. Sad this man lost his life. Let's get a final word from the tarot here. The Queen of Cups. You know who that Queen of Cups is, my darlings. I'll show you. Let me move this down. Yes, Zelda always does this. Hello. And as you read from me, you're going to see this Queen of Cups is equal to the Queen of Hearts. That is a Scorpio water sign. At the bottom of the deck, peace. That's what Charlie wants. Final word from the House of Zelda. We sure do have a lot of missing information, and the key to unlock the information is out there. Someone has it, and we're going to keep looking. My darlings, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, Tuesday night, October 14th, I will be doing EVPs on this channel, reading the energy of Charlie Kirk. We're not conjuring. We're not doing any of that. We're not casting. I don't believe in that. But we're going to ask for information to come forward. And if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Let's get together. Let's have some time together and respectfully talk about things. I think that's a good thing that we do that. On the bottom of the deck, this is it. And I thank you so much. Oh yeah, definitely contact coming to. That means more information is coming out. More information. And right now it's sealed. It is hidden. But it will be coming, my darlings. Thanks for being here. Please do me a favor. Like, subscribe. Click the notification bell because you want to see exactly what's going on. Have a beautiful day, my darlings. And I will see you again Tuesday night, 7 p.m. New York, America time. For those of you who are out of the country or in different time zones, I appreciate you. You be well and take care. I'll see you again next time.